The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
It's Friday, the 23rd day of August, 2024. Welcome to Bermuda's Daily Talk Show. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House Lindos, and People's Pharmacy. I'm Jamal Hartman. She's Maya Palacio, and Teo Dill will be with us in a bit to bring you the latest in the news break brought to you by People's Pharmacy. And P, when's the last time you hosted?
Don't make me think that far back, Jamal. I don't even know.
Yeah. It's been a while. Yeah, it's been a while.
I think it was with Teo, if I'm correct. The last time I hosted was with Teo.
It was in June when I had to when I got my teeth out. Well, I gotta stop saying that when I got my wisdom teeth out, because people probably think I'm walking around with not real teeth these days. Yeah, but they're still mine.
That is true. You gotta be careful. You say that.
I know you're one of the elderly members of the show, Jamal, but I'm sure that you still got your own teeth. But no, it's been a while since you've hosted, so I mean, happy to have you here for a longer period. And allow Teo to do the news. Let him do that, the news, and give you more of a break. Because wouldn't you say, although people only see you for like 5 to 10 minutes during the news break, it's probably still more or as much work to prepare for that 10 minutes versus the entire show?
Yes.
Yeah. No, I want to put in context for the audience, because it's a lot. You have to put the stories together. You have to with the show, you're preparing for the discussion, but also one guest. Whereas a news, you're getting different people you've got to speak to, or different stories you got to follow up with. So, yeah, I would say that 10 minutes is probably still worth the hour, right?
Oh, way more than an hour. I think Teo could also attest to it. It's a bit more than an hour, especially if you're trying to grab some original stories too. So you gotta make the calls to the interview. Interview can go over 30 minutes, but then I only have to get to use maybe a sec, under a minute for the show, things like that.
Yeah, well, we're happy to have you. I mean, Teo's never co-hosted, so just saying.
But co-hosted with me.
Oh, he did. Oh, I was trying to throw a shot. Why couldn't you let me have that one?
Nah, because I'm both facts. I'm not biased.
Oh, okay. She's doing that to me. All right, facts. All right, cool. Greetings, everyone, and thanks for making us part of your daily routine. A good one today as we welcome Chef de Mission. Did I say right? Chef de Mission. Yes, I'm getting my French down, right? Get my French.
Relax, it's not.
Okay, it's not French. Okay. Katura Horton-Perinchief is coming on. She's going to be discussing the 2024 Olympic experience, which Maya was able to be there to experience it as well. The daily play is things you should know. Things you should know. And folks, I don't have a question yet. I'm sorry. I have to go into the things you should know box to the left, and I'm just going to randomly pick one out. And you know how competitive Maya is with this stuff. So I don't know if you're going to get it, whatever the question is. I don't know what it is yet, but you know how.
I get competitive with the music ones because I know music, but places, no. Things you should know, I feel like I get all I hate that one because I get so mad when I don't know it because I'm supposed to know it.
I think we got on this one, folks. All right. I think we got it. Don't forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. It's Friday Fun Day for us, though, brought to you by our friends at Mailboxes. If you haven't already, and if you ship to Bermuda, go to mailboxes.com// or forward/ one of the slashes, the daily hour, and you can, is it forward? You said forward? Forward slash. I don't know what's forward or back, folks. Honestly, that's why I stay where I am. No movement in my life. I'm weird like that. But yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. And real quickly, honestly, I mean this from my heart, honestly, folks. I got called on the carpet for my language recently. Not gonna say by who. So I'll do better in terms of so why is she so childish? I'll do better because it's happened quite a few times lately. I'll do better because I do understand that some people are tuned in, especially with school out with their young people, and that's no excuse. Young people, older people, doesn't matter. But I'll do better. And as I say all the time, I don't apologize for what I necessarily say, but how I say it can definitely be better. All right. So if I offend you, I don't really wake up saying, let me offend somebody today. I don't do that. Believe it or not, I do not. I do not. But chances are it will happen because the way my mind operates. So just want to get that out of the way before we get into today and I offend somebody else. All right. So it's possible. It's possible. Here's the question of the morning. Well, hold up. Karen Simmons says, good morning, TDH. Make this fantastic Friday a safe weekend and a safe weekend. Thank you, Ms. Karen. And you might be another winner this week. You might be another winner.
Oh.
Yeah, she's in the draw for today. Charles says, are you less wise without your wisdom teeth? This guy. This guy. Suzanne Ingham says, awesome Friday, Jamal and Maya. It's so nice to see you daily again. Teeth, I'm so happy to know it's wisdom teeth and you're not walking around gummy. You all in my teeth.
And if he was still, he'll still be talking as much as he is now.
That ain't gonna change. Welcome back, Maya. And yeah, prepping news is definitely more of a time sink, rewarding, but takes a while to get hooked up. All right, Teo.
What do you want to do?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, whatever. Let's get
he
to
gets
today.
me. I get him.
Yeah, you guys do your thing. But let's get into it. Since we have Katura on, it's Friday Fun Day, and I think this is a pretty fun conversation to have today, Maya. To ask the audience, what sports do you believe Bermuda should invest in that Bermudians could excel at in the 2028 Olympic Games? Like what sport? Now, they're not going to have breakdancing, which caught some flack last time, right?
Yeah, breakdance is gone.
Yeah, you don't seem happy about that.
I didn't even get up to go see it. I wasn't too invested in it anyway, but I was excited to at least review some. But I'm a little annoyed that the only person that we get to see is this Australian woman. Like, she has made such a huge stink of it that all I know about it is her, and that's kind of upsetting to the actual people that have like really worked for it. But at the end of the day, I'm just like, it's breaking. If breaking is in there, I feel like every single dance type style should have been in there. Then I don't know what made it more special than the others. Maybe Katura could even speak to it, but like, it's gone now.
You mean like salsa, merengue, and like wine?
Whatever else.
Okay. No, indeed. I mean, I'm not a dancer, I just stand up and bounce in one spot. So if they had something like that, I'd probably participate. But what's going to be in the Olympics next time we're speaking about? Cricket. Right? So I think that's a sport. I mean, audience, what are your thoughts? What do you believe Bermuda should invest in that Bermudians excel at? Like, what do you think for the 2028 Olympic Games, looking ahead, we should say, you know what, let's invest into the next few years? I think cricket would be one as a team sport. Now, when saying that, I like the two Lukes, Luke Horan and Luke Fulton. You've got Kamal Levrock. You've got Delray Rollins. To me, Jared Richardson, the young LJ Richardson up in Somerset. Like, I think Bermuda has a mix of players that can possibly represent, but what does the qualifying look like for that? And it's going to be T20 cricket, T20, folks. So that means 20 overs, maximum of 20 overs for betting. But that's a sport that comes to mind for me. What comes to mind for you, man?
Oh man, I should have been thinking about this a little bit more. Let's see. A sport I think Bermudians would excel at the Olympic Games. It has to already be at the Olympics?
No.
It doesn't have to be at the Olympics.
No,
okay, cool.
Yeah.
It could be anything, even if it's not even included. Okay. Netball.
What'd you say?
Netball.
Oh, you know what? Maybe if they're preparing for the 2028 Olympics, then it probably should have to be at the Olympics. But I think netball would be a good one. I mean, we should fight for it to be in the Olympics. It's something that a lot of young girls in Bermuda grow up playing, right?
Yeah, we do it, and we do it pretty well. I personally was never a huge fan of the sport, but I know that it's like very big in so many places in Bermuda. Like, I know a lot of friends that have played it growing up and who are still in it nationally for a team. So yeah.
Okay. Teo's got the wrong games because he's saying bobsledding Cool Runnings was based on a true story. Just saying. Maybe I should say the LA Summer 2028 games. Should have included summer, right? Because he's on the winter games. Where are the winter games? The next ones, French Alps.
I don't even know where the winter games are.
Yeah, maybe the French Alps or somewhere. Katura Horton-Perinchief, she just couldn't wait her turn. She's blabbing about that team. I said to her before we came on, I said, I had a post ready to write her, right? Because she wasn't at Cotton Match this year. Write her, say, see, you didn't show up to Cotton Match, and my team finally did what we can do. I could not press send on that because, she wasn't present, and regular programming just did what it did, You all haven't experienced Katura at Cotton Match. Katura and Mama Horton, oh boy, the most loving people outside of those 2 days. They will be dancing and everything. Anyway, her comment, she says, just send Somerset Cricket Club to the Olympics, obviously. Based on the display this year, she may have a point. Martial arts, what are your thoughts on that one, Maya?
Ooh. I personally don't even know that many martial artists in Bermuda. I know a lot of jiu-jitsu now because I got into that and I've seen that do well. So I would also agree to that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, why not?
Okay. Martial arts. You know what I found fascinating at the Olympics? I never call me a little slow, I'm on that bus sometimes, but I didn't know they had shooting in the Olympics. I thought the shooting that I saw, I thought they had the pellets like that. And that became a big thing on the internet. People trolling the United States, saying you would think they would be number one in it, stuff like that. And I'm not trying to make fun. That's a serious thing. What I'm simply saying is that's something that people thought that the U.S. would excel at. And I'm trying to think, like, what is something that outsiders would be like, Bermuda, this is one right here. This is what I was literally going for. What people would think that Bermudians excel at, like outsiders. Something like this, diving off the rocks, like something like that. Like, I mean, California, I don't know if they have cliffs or something like that. Like, I know Red Bull does a series around the world,
Yeah.
Like, that may be something. It's not in the games, and I don't know how long things have to be submitted to be considered in the games. But that may be something.
What else? I think it's a very long time.
Yeah. No, I'm pretty sure, because I'm sure they made the decision about cricket many years ago. What else, audience? It's Friday Fun Day, brought to you by our friends at Mailboxes. Again, check out mailboxes.bm / the Daily Hour. 2 free years of membership. Let us know your thoughts. Oh, Mama Horton says, without a doubt, Katura regarding their Somerset Cricket Club team. Oh my goodness, the support up there. Charles H. Jeffers II, he says, if it doesn't have to be there, what about marbles?
Okay. Do we even play it like that anymore, though? I mean, it'll be.
That's a valid question, Maya. Do we?
Like, who actually goes out there and plays marbles nowadays?
When I was in school, I don't know about when you were in school, but when I was in school, people used to bring their marbles to school and play. Like, we used to do that. Like, we'd set up in the recess or a lunch break, and we would play marbles. Like, our children even play them. Like, I wonder if I asked my 11-year-old niece if she's ever played marbles, I wonder what she'd say. But to Charles's point, I mean, I don't even know what's considered a sport anymore, though. Like, is it just competitiveness?
That's also a good question.
Yeah, like, I mean, some people were wondering, obviously, the criticism about the break-in, like, is that a sport or is it competitive? I mean, I don't know what's defined as a sport, but I know it is competition.
Because I think I even had the conversation about skateboarding too, being brought in. That was another one.
Okay. Well, it's interesting. On Instagram, we've got a couple suggestions. We've got skateboarding from Mia Chambray. She says skateboarding, right? And, we had Colin on, I believe, named Colin recently, and he was speaking about how he's helping young Bermudians do, skateboarding in Bermuda. So that's something. And also surfing. We know that, Los Angeles in particular is known for, great surfing, not as great as Hawaii, but, surfing, Mia says. And then also says skipping and cheerleading. So these are some things that I know are being done in Bermuda. Skipping? I don't know about cheerleading, but skipping, yeah.
Skipping what? Like, you mean like jump rope, or actually like skipping? the
No,
action of
jump
skipping.
rope, I think.
Okay.
Is she
Yeah.
Mia, clarify if you're talking about jump rope or actual skipping. Let us know.
Because in my head, I'm thinking of people literally going on the track
Mhm.
and skipping instead of like, 'cause you know they have like speed walking now, and then like obviously all the running races. Then like she says skipping, in my mind immediately went to, can you imagine just watching a bunch of people skipping on the track?
That I think that's as interesting as the walking race to me.
I think she means jump rope. I remember
That's
actually doing a story with the Bermuda jump rope association team, and they're like hoping that it does go into the Olympics at some point. A lot of our
mm,
jumpers are now quite young, so they've been doing it for a minute, and they're really good. But that would be something if it does get included, and then there's something more to look forward into their sport. But yeah.
she clarified. She said jump rope. Yeah, she said jump rope. She said not skipping through Easter lilies. Right? So jump rope indeed. What else, audience? Well, I also think this is a valid question. Do you think that Bermuda and Bermudians support our athletes enough? That's another question. Do you think that Bermuda and Bermudians support our athletes enough? What are your thoughts on that? While you answer what sports we should focus on, also consider that. Do we support our athletes enough? Maya, you feel comfortable answering that?
Sure, a good one. In different elements, I think that we do support, but not in the full scope of what's needed for them to actually succeed higher than what they have. Again, we've had this conversation in many different realms. People have put think pieces out on the Gazette and everything. And I know that people want to see more funding being given to certain sports to see certain people be able to attend the Olympics more. And we're not blind to the fact that other people come from money,
Mhm.
who have the resources that others do not. So in that sense, yes, we should be doing more to support those who do not have. I don't know how to reach the level where it is. Like, is
Mhm.
it private businesses? Should we have more community behind them? Reading the stories and looking at the stories that came out of the Olympics of some communities and some athletes that talked about how literally, I think it was the guy that won the gold in javelin and talked about, and the commentator was talking about how his whole community got behind him. It
Mhm.
wasn't the association. They put money into him to
Mhm.
help wherever it was to set up, to practice, to train, whatever, to
Mhm.
get him to the Olympics, and he got gold. So
Mm.
sometimes, like, yes, it takes money to do all these things, who should be giving it, but it also
Mhm.
takes the will of that person to work extremely hard for a dream and a goal.
Mhm.
So it's a lot of mixed into it because it's a huge, huge commitment, as Couture will
Mhm.
come up and say, to try to become an Olympian. Huge
Mhm.
commitment, financially, emotionally, on your family, on your body. It's everything.
Mhm.
So really, it depends on how much it means to yourself and how much does it mean to the community. So
Mhm.
another question would probably be like, does Bermuda, value this as something that we need and we cherish as well for our athletes, for our Olympians?
I'm not quite sure we value what we don't know,
Hmm.
right? And I think I've said on this show for the last few weeks, you can quote me on it, that it's, yes, funding as financially money is needed, but if you own a home somewhere where someone needs to train, is there some way you can help them by allowing them to stay in your home? And not saying they pay nothing, but help them with a discount if you're able to. If you have transportation at your home overseas, that you can put them on insurance to utilize. Again, we're not saying give anything, but work with them and help them in a way. There's so many other things that we can do outside of just giving financially, because I get that we're living in a very tough time, and people just don't have money. Like private individuals may not have it like times previously. But what I don't think tag days, no disrespect, I appreciate that they're doing something for themselves, the association, but don't think tag days are enough to help and get us where we want. And I like how you said it's not just the association, Maya, but Julian Alfred, who I'm really obsessed with her journey right now. I'm obsessed with her journey. The fact that she had Jamaicans arguing on Twitter with St. Lucians because Jamaicans trying to take credit because she went to school in Jamaica. But what I love is that St. Lucia invested in her, right? They invested in her, got her over to school. And I just learned last night, I should have remembered this when they said it, that Katura's probably a huge fan of her because she's a fellow, guess what? Texas Longhorn, right? So I honestly only realized because I was talking to my friend from St. Lucia last night about her. Because I was like, I don't think I've heard Julian Alfred like have a conversation, and she sent me a video, and I was watching this 10-minute video, and I was just like, wow, this could be us. This could be us. But I think it's it's almost like in media, right? I'm sure you've looked at people, and you've spoken to me for years of people that you looked up to, Patrina, Miss Thang, and so on, right? You got to look at people, what some people are doing, right? Not look at them as competition, but look at what St. Lucia done to get, their first 2 medals in one Olympics. Look at what Jamaica's done. Look at what similar islands have done with jurisdictions, and see how we can implement that. See what we can do, right? Because again, celebrating with them when they win is all good and fun, but it's the journey, man.
And it's like when Katura said at the press conference too, I cannot get it. Like, it's not just, right before the Olympics, that's when everyone qualifies. It's the whole 4 years of going to the CACs, the Pan Ams, the qualifiers, everything to get the points that they need, to rank up the times they need, to get the practice that they need, everything in between. It's not like money's just for that one moment. It's throughout the entire 4 years. And it's not just for one athlete either. Like, it's for so many that we even had on a longer list or shorter list for this year that, didn't qualify at the end, that we could have had more, but it's all of it.
Indeed. Let's go to the audience before we bring Teo in for Daily on News Break. Don't forget, we've got Katura Horton-Perinchief coming up. We're going to be talking about the Olympic experience in Paris 2024. All right. So Maya mentioned netball. Suzanne Ingham said, netball, I was terrible. I kept running with the ball. Basketball wasn't even on the island yet. I just couldn't stand still with that ball.
I feel you, Suzanne, because I did not like netball either. I was like, no. And you couldn't even touch nobody. It was a no contact sport as well.
It was about the pivot, right? You had to catch it and pivot, right?
Oh, that pivot, Jamal.
Yeah.
Oh, that pivot.
Yeah, that would be like me trying to do a show without talking. I'm not quite sure I'd be able to either. But diving off the rock sounds awesome. She said, windsurfing says Tanya Chieftain. Yeah, but as long as they don't try to practice when a hurricane's coming.
They literally do that. Like right before it's about to come, on the waters with the stronger winds. Not when it actually hits, but right before when the winds are nice and strong.
But we would have to invest in sending them somewhere where has normal high winds, because we just don't have those winds normally in Bermuda, I don't think. I mean,
in every sport we'd have to invest in them going internationally because we don't have the level of competition in Bermuda.
Katura said this, I don't remember, years ago. She basically called me stupid years ago because I was like, no, seriously, she didn't call me that, folks. I'm just saying, but she couldn't believe I said something so silly. But I remember talking to her about diving, and I didn't realize Bermuda didn't have the facilities. I was just like, well, diving should be something that Bermudians should be good at, like jumping off the rocks. And just like, no, that's not how it works. Like we don't have access to pools and in Bermuda in that manner. Obviously, we do have the National Sports Center now, but again, it to your point, Maya, the investment's going to require people being overseas in spaces where they can be successful. I'm sorry, but just because we're surrounded by water doesn't mean we're going to be Michael Phelps. Michael Phelps had access to pools, and that I think Bermudians think that because we are surrounded by water that we should be better swimmers. No, folks. You need access to pools to train for something like the Olympics. Sorry, we don't necessarily have that access. And that's just the reality. Karen Simmons says, how about homemade kite making and flying? That's interesting. Powerboat racing. Powerboat. Yeah, we do still have a crowd for that, just had around the island. Charles says, as individuals, I think we support them enough, talking about Bermudian athletes, but from a corporate perspective, I'm not sure that we do. And let me clarify yesterday as well about the corporate sponsorship. I've always said on this show, I believe that people should give money to who they want. Like, that is their money. As long as it's legal, they can do what they want with their money. I just believe that when corporations do give it, it does expose a greater problem in Bermuda. And that's my point with it. Kathy M. Painter says, I think we could do better at supporting our athletes, both financially and emotionally. And she goes on to say, we get excited when they win, but it takes a lot of work and dedication to achieve that status. Agreed. I absolutely agree. Let's bring Taylor in for the Daily Hour news break. Don't forget, we've got Katura Horton-Perinchief coming up. We're going to be talking about the 2024 Paris Olympic Games experience. All righty.
Hey, welcome home, Mike. Good to see you, girl. I done missed your face and your voice and everything associated therewith. What's up, Jay? You good?
Coming into a damn news break.
It's good to see you too, Teo.
Yeah, no, I'm just excited.
Hey, I want to say this, right? So a lot of people don't know. Teo and I, we went, we packed groceries together on Supermart, but we also went cricket clinic together. So I was thinking, you and me, if Bermuda, we can get a team in the T20 cricket for the games. You and I should. I think we should go back to 35 years ago. Why are you doing that, Maya? What is wrong?
I'm just listening.
No, you just said. So Tay, I think we should try out. I mean, St. George's might be able to use us in cop match anyway.
You can try.
Okay. The best idea in what you just shared is that you put us and the St. George's cup match side at about the same level.
This guy.
Shots fired. Bang, bang, bang.
You know what, Tim? That hurts, bro. Especially as a former flip-flopper who's now Somerset. Yeah.
I'm making up for lost time, bro.
I see. Give your news, please. Thank you.
Well, the Sir John Swan's recent call for more independent membership in Parliament's been answered by professional soldier and youth advocate Lieutenant Cyree Bean, who confirmed his candidacy in the upcoming Sands North Constituency 36 by-election, as captured here by our friends at Bermuda.
Conversations with Sir John and a lot of other individuals who are movers and shakers of the community. And the more I get educated on these topics and areas, I've been inclined to say, let me jump out at this. Because every time I'm at a talk, I'm at a panel discussion, I'm at an event, the question's always coming up. And it even came from jokes. Oh, yeah. My teachers just tell me you're going to be a politician one day, or you're gonna do this one day. Sorry, you have this type of character. So it's always been there in the background of my mind.
Mm-hmm. I mean, are you excited?
Well,
I'm genuinely excited. Yeah.
We had him on, and I think he's a well-spoken. He seems like a very nice guy. I have nothing negative to say. I don't. The only thing I will say is you all know, Maya Teo, I mean, we have conversations to the age group. You know how I feel about politics. You know how I feel about so it's not personal to him. I am just cautious with young people who get in so early. And I shared yesterday, even before that was announced, that my cousin, who's the president of one of the unions in Bermuda, said to me when I was at Hot 175, cuz, stay away from politics until you're established. And that's my only concern with young people. We know what happened. We don't even have to say back in the day when mortgages were pulled and stuff. We know what happened in recent times, So I'm cautiously optimistic for the young people who are jumping in. You get me?
Yeah. No, I feel you. And that's a reasonable response. But simultaneously, the fact that those risks exist, those unjust, indefensible risks exist about people publicly demonstrating their political commitment, like which is just to say, like, what they want to see from their island. Mm-hmm. That should not be the case. It should not be that way. So people that push back against it, I think, deserve that much more like love and support.
Yeah, and I'll use Malachi Simons as well. I was concerned for him, and especially the response he got from certain people. So it's not just Cyree. It's like I love the fact that they're interested in improving their country in that space. I'm just concerned. I'm concerned a bit and cautiously optimistic. So I hope that they understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah, I think it's clear. The by-election has been confirmed by the parliamentary registrar to take place on October 4th. And Allen Temple AME Church Hall is set as the polling station. And you've got until August 29th at 5 p.m. to register to vote, as long as you're eligible to do so and live in Sands North. Now, Ernesto is about a week behind us. And according to the National Hurricane Center, whoop-de-whoop, we've got another 7 days or so of storm-free activity. But don't sleep. because signs currently point to a stretch of intensified tropical activity coming once we hit the end of the month. According to the Colorado State University Hurricane Forecast Team, there are several potential areas. You can see them lit up in red there for tropical cyclone formation due to large-scale environmental conditions showing up within the first week of September, as described here.
Another thing that we got to think about that the Climate Prediction Center put out is that from August 30th to September 5th, we could potentially see some potential tropical cyclone activity. So that is something that's possible. We could have a cyclone or essentially a tropical system form somewhere in the Atlantic during this time frame. So we just want to stay vigilant and just remind you, the end of hurricane season is not until November 30th. So make sure you always have your plan in place. While things are quiet right now, we are all in the clear.
You know what? Hurricane season's June 1st to November 30th every year. But it just seems like it's getting longer and longer. And especially, I don't think we've talked about this enough. Bermuda got hit with a hurricane in August, folks. That's abnormal.
Yeah.
But
like, I think it's the earliest in the history of modern meteorological recordings. Like it is different now than it used to be. Climate change is real. Don't let nobody fool you or tell you different.
Don't get me attacked by them folks. Yeah, it's clear, but I'm not because they're gonna say I offended them. And no, on a serious note, I mean, I just don't understand why we can't understand that it's real and what's contributing to it. It's not normal for Bermuda to be have a hurricane in August. Like, that's a fact, right?
Yeah, that's just true.
Okay, so okay, I'm done.
All right. Well, Nissan, not sure if y'all knew this, but Nissan, like the Nissan, has a captive company in Bermuda, and according to AM Best, it's doing extraordinary business. Nissan's global reinsurance company just had its financial strength rating and long-term credit rating both reaffirmed as excellent by the ratings agency. According to an AM Best release, this reflects Nissan Re's very strong balance sheet strength, adequate operating performance, and appropriate enterprise risk management. Now, this got me wondering, because I didn't know Nissan had any sort of company placement in Bermuda. But it got me wondering about other big companies headquartered in Bermuda. Did some Googling, and it turns out the largest jewelry retailer on the planet has been domiciled here for more than 15 years. If you have ever bought mall earrings, you probably shopped at Signet Jewelers, aka the parent company of K Jewelers, Zales, Piercing Pagoda, Jarrett, all them companies. That's Signet. They dominate the mall jewelry game in North America, while their international brand under the H. Samuel and Ernest Jones banners takes up a lot of space in the UK and Ireland markets. Now, the Signet story, despite being so dominant, is not all good, though, since in 2022, they had to drop a $175 million bag to settle a long-running gender-biased lawsuit filed on behalf of nearly 70,000 women employees on the basis that Signet paid women less and promoted them less often than men. That said, they earned nearly $8 billion in revenue that year, while they were and still are domiciled here in Bermuda. So Signet is all good either way. Did y'all know that?
No, you just taught me something completely new.
You taught me two things: Nissan and the jewelry company.
I really feel like we should be more collectively aware, because like that is one of the things that separates Bermuda from the rest of the financial services market. Like low tax jurisdiction, easy for big companies to keep their money, but we don't really know who's here.
No, we don't.
You know what I mean?
Question: do you know, like in that lawsuit or whatever it was, that they had to pay out that large sum of money? Did any of it go to any employees in Bermuda? Were they a part of that?
I have no idea. Now, I also don't know. I tried to find this, like the size of the Signet jewelry Bermuda footprint, right? Because you can be domiciled here and like no or very, very few, but maybe like there's a Bermudian woman that you know that all of a sudden seemed real smiley, got a new car, took a 6-month vacation. It might have been because of this bag that got dropped in her hands, which is pretty spectacular.
Yeah. I doubt they have a real presence. Yeah, like Derek Hendrickson said, probably don't have a real presence in Bermuda. So I doubt it.
Mm-hmm. Now, in terms of weather, already told you that the next 7 days of weather should be pretty unremarkable, which includes today and this weekend. The Bermuda Azores High has planted its feet in our airspace again, giving us perfect end of summer weather, gentle breeze, calm seas, plenty of sun and air temps maxing out in the mid 80s. Good vibes all around. Nothing really to warn you about. It's just go to the beach this weekend. Just do it.
Okay. After last weekend, you got a days of the year, Mai?
I do not have a days of the year.
Okay, let me get one. Hold on. Let's get a days of the year. Let's see. What is it? Friday the 23rd?
Yes.
Mhm.
All right.
Yep.
23rd. I don't like this one. It says International Day for the Remembrance of the Slave Trade and its Abolition. I don't want to read that.
Let's go to something else.
It's Cheap Flight Day. Cheap Flight Day. So
I like that one.
yeah, I like it. So since it's Cheap Flight Day, audience, Teo Maya, where's somewhere that you would purchase a cheap flight to right now?
Toronto.
Why?
Maya?
It's such a great city.
I mean,
It's like New York with all the aggro. Incredibly diverse,
Toronto?
like really dope art scene, incredible restaurant vibes. Like it's
I agree
and
to that.
you can hear 15 languages walking for 2 minutes. Like it's New York without the passive aggression.
Not if you're
Without
there
the aggression.
and they're freezing you in the snow. But I mean, never mind. Go ahead.
You know full well it wasn't that bad when you were here, so please don't act out.
It was snowing.
It was no, but it was sunny. You were fine. Anyway, if I could, honestly, and this sounds so cliche, but I think I'll go back to Marseille. It was just so beautiful. Oh my gosh, it was so beautiful.
Marseille
That
in
or
France?
Japan.
In
Yeah,
France?
in France. Yes.
Mhm.
I can't get over how gorgeous it was. Like,
Okay. Cheap ticket, me? Where would I go? I honestly don't know, you guys. Like
Montreal.
Montreal. I enjoyed Montreal.
you're
Yeah.
obsessed.
You know what?
No, I haven't been for a little while, and I'm feeling the yearn. Like I mean, obviously, like Tokyo and Paris and like those are obviously like spaces. But when y'all said cheap ticket, I thought like plausible cheap ticket. Like I can't imagine like a cheap ticket from Bermuda for real all the way to Tokyo.
So yeah, I would say Turks and Caicos. I really liked going there when I went. So yeah, and it's similar in terms of bringing. But Karen Simmons says Italy. Dawn Ferbert says Boston. Teray, of course, agrees. Toronto is awesome. Suzanne Ingham says Spain, Portugal, Zimbabwe. Here we go. I don't know if you're getting a cheap flight to Zimbabwe. Scotland says Manuela John.
Oh, that's pretty.
Nantucket says Teresa. Martha's Vineyard. I would have went. Yeah, I would have did that.
Okay. Yeah.
Han says WKD Llama. Okay, cool. We've got some cool. Keep them coming, folks. But we gotta go. We gotta bring Katorian because if we don't, she'll leave. I'm done. I'm not doing it.
Hey, sorry, Katura. I apologize.
Yeah.
Have a good weekend, y'all. Good to Maya. Welcome home. Missed you.
Before you go.
Yeah.
Just reminding everyone.
Yes.
The under 14 teams playing today in their semifinals. So, Maya, you did say it yesterday too. You know the time
Right
and
up
everything.
there.
Oh, jeez, man, she quick. So
Woo! I like it.
If I have the YouTube link, we can share the YouTube link on our social media channel so that everyone has an opportunity to check it out. Cool.
I'll definitely put it. Yeah, be on our story and up on everywhere that we have when it goes out.
All right, cool. Tavy, we'll see you soon.
All right, take care, y'all. Thanks a lot.
All right, no problem. Folks, do not go anywhere. We're going to be back in about a minute, 57 seconds with Chef de Mission. I said it right?
Chef D. Machine, you're good.
Okay. I'm not saying it anymore. All right, stick with it.
Let's face it, life can be a little wild, but shopping doesn't have to be. I choose Peoples, so that whether it's a prescription that needs to be filled, a toy for my little terror, or a gift for a new addition to the family, we'll see about that. Everything's available in one convenient location. Some call it Peoples, I call it my one-stop shop in the city. Peoples, we're here for you.
Welcome to the new bulk store, Lindo's Next Level. Wake up in the morning with enough coffee to keep you running throughout the entire day. Your pet at home deserves the best. Stock up on dog food to keep your puppy happy. Need a quick tasty lunch at home? Your chicken nuggets will be jumping right out of the freezer. What's a movie night without popcorn? You can never have too much. Lindo's next level. Why go anyplace else?
Unlock your business potential with BDC's General Microloan, offering up to $30,000 for Bermudian small and medium businesses, whether it's for inventory, working capital, or equipment. We provide 100% guarantee on approved loans, simple application, low interest rates, and fast processing. Apply today and make your business dream come true.
Summer is almost here. Dive into the season with dog floats and dog pools. Enjoy 20% off West Paul's dog floating toys and shop our life jackets for safety in the water this summer. Get all your summer needs before the holidays and events begin. Don't forget to stock up on poo bags and check out Dicky Bags, the poo bag holder that locks in the smell until you can dispose of it. Remember, even dogs need sunblock, so visit Noah's Ark today, Bermuda's most trusted animal supply store for all your summer essentials, and ask us about our rewards program.
Alrighty, welcome back to the big show. Maya Palacio. I'm Jamal Hartman. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Medical Oils, Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy. Please do not forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. I just want to say this because we're getting closer to the 1,000th episode, right? For the 1,000th episode, you're going to receive an email if you're subscribed to thedailyhour.com. That's the only way you're going to be able to win up to $1,000 from us. I'll say that one more time. You will receive an email. Those emails will tell you what you need to do to be eligible to win up to $1,000 to celebrate 1,000 episodes. So if you're not subscribed, if you don't know if you're subscribed, you may want to just go on the website, subscribe right now. I don't know about you. I'm not eligible to play. Neither is Maya, but I could use up to $1,000. I'm just saying. It's tough out in these streets. All right, so you know what to do. Anyway, without further ado, let's bring on my cop match nemesis. Let's bring on our favorite Olympic diver. Her name is Katura Horton-Perinchief. Give her a warm TDH welcome, folks. I'm trying to be serious. You know what? I'm dead serious. I love me some Horton-Perinchief. I love me some Horton family. But you and your mom cop match, boy, together, that tag team, boy. I was like, oh, it's only one of them this year. What got it didn't work out
because she can hold it down. You know? Like this is an OG, triple OG. She doesn't need me. I only came along 40 years ago, so she's good.
She held it down. She held it down. I was trying to duck. She saw me. I was like, yeah, and yeah. But no, thank you for joining us, especially this early in the morning. Yeah,
I don't like it, Jamal.
Yeah, I know, but
she's acting like she wasn't up at 4 a.m. every single morning in Paris.
4 a.m.
They probably sleep at 3, up at 4, sleep, up at 6.
It was tough. It was a tough go.
Well, you know what? Thank you for waking up at, this show starts at 10 a.m. So we're going to imagine it's 10 a.m. So thank you for waking up at 9 to do this. But Katura, honestly, I've always been a fan. We've had numerous conversations over the years. But as a former Olympian, you served as, was it Bermuda's first chef de mission? You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
First Olympic one, yeah. We've not had an Olympian until now, so that's really fantastic and an honor, I would say.
For people like me, what does that role entail?
Everything. From transportation, so we did trains, planes, cars, buses, getting people to and from their training camps. As Maya said, 4 a.m. triathlon briefings, 7 a.m. chef meetings every morning, management of guest pass access to the village, management of athletes in the village, VIP visits, uniforms, accreditation, you name it. It was everything.
Indeed. Sounds like a lot of work. I didn't know you covered so much, but based on the experience in Paris, obviously you experienced your first Olympics in 2024. How has the Olympics evolved based on what you saw in the village?
Oh, you mean 2004?
Yeah.
20 years ago. I mean, things have obviously changed. It's been 2 decades. So there was more entertainment for the athletes. Obviously, the technology piece is huge. I was talking to the athletes about the fact that they all got these brand new, newly released Samsung phones that were custom made for Olympians and Paralympians. We obviously didn't have that. I think we had flip phones back then. And not even like everybody. So we got something completely different. But yeah, no, the technology piece, even just the access to just new things, like, I mean, new technology, like those cardboard beds were not as terrible as people might make them out to seem. They had customized and customizable mattresses. And it was really just kind of top notch.
What was it like though, being back after 20 years? I mean, did you see people that you remembered or recognized? People recognize you?
You know, it was actually kind of a blast from the past for me. A lot of people who recognized me from before, and of course I recognize them. They're back in other capacities, either as coaches or administrators, judges. It was pretty fantastic, like a bit of a reunion. And Brian Wellman was there, and he got to hang out with some of his huge track stars from back in the day, Bernie Surin, who was the chef de mission for Canada, and Brian got to reconnect. So pretty fantastic stuff.
Many people don't really know what happens leading up. We talked a little bit about it earlier about, like, you know, it's not just this one like year that all this happens. It's so many years. So can you talk about maybe all the work that you had to do leading up to the games as the chef?
Right. So I wasn't named until January of last year. So it was a year and a half, I guess, of preparation. And back then we didn't have anybody qualified. So it was, I also chair the standards committee, which is in charge of recommendations to the Bermuda Olympic Association Executive Board on who will qualify and represent Bermuda in Paris. So just monitoring all of that as well. And just as Maya said, you know, it's not even just a 4-year journey. People have been swimming and running and jumping and doing all the sports for triathlon for their entire lives. So we're talking decades of preparation and investment on their part. But when it comes to the planning, I mean, I would say right after Tokyo, we started tangibly planning for Paris, and we've already started tangibly planning for LA.
Can you talk about a little bit about those plans that's happening, but in particular maybe funding, because we know that funding for smaller countries can be quite a challenge. So how do you feel about the financial support available to the Bermudian athletes so far?
So we spoke about this a little bit in the press conference. I think the government has really come to the wicket. We have had an increase in Bermuda Olympic Association funding, which for the elite athlete program, which has gone directly to athletes. And the good part about that is, you know, we charge the government with supporting athletes more, and they did. Especially because the expectation is that we have more elite athletes on the list. Not less. And the cost of living, the cost of training, everything goes up over time. There's inflation. So the fact that the government has sort of put their money where their mouths are is pretty fantastic. But we also, for this year, got sponsorship from corporate entities, Butterfield and Ballas, Bermuda. Morton is a nutrition company who came on board. So I think what we were talking about at the press conference is it's really sexy to support athletes during an Olympic year, but it definitely takes a lot more than that. So long-term sponsorship are things, and not just for the Olympic Association, but for individual athletes and for for specific teams or specific sports. All of that goes a very long way.
Indeed, yeah. Because even being at the games, like, I finally got to see it personally, and you got to tell me stories about your own journey into how, like, the support that's needed to get there, and I know some people don't like to use the word sacrifices, but the sacrifices that it does take to, make things happen, make a dream happen, especially one as big as the Olympics. So being out there, watching some of these dreams like come true and unfold, what was it like watching the Olympians compete?
I mean, you know what? It takes you back, doesn't it? I mean, I was 21. Jack Harvey was also 21 for his first Olympics. And it's the stuff dreams are made of. So to watch their dreams be realized in front of my eyes, again, a privilege and honor, and it really pulls at your heartstrings. And, you would have seen the emotional investment that, all of us had with our athlete performances. And, you really feel the emotions. I mean, I bawled the entire game, so whether it was a great performance or a not so great performance. So, overwhelming, I would say, emotionally, but definitely fulfilling.
Can you take us back to like the very first day you remember walking inside the village? I'm sure the audience wants to know, what did you see? What was the experience like, stepping on there, and just let us see what we saw through your eyes.
As I said the other day, I feel like it was actually one of the most impressive villages I've actually laid eyes on, and I've chefed for a few games now, and they've been incredible villages, don't get me wrong, but as far as just the entryway to the dining hall, it almost takes you aback it's lined with all the beautiful flags and Paris 2024 at the end, and just the majesty of a village that is about to house all those people. I think they had said 22,000, so 10,500 athletes and, their support teams. It was really just, it's a city. It's a little city, and it just, it barrels you over, really, just the majesty of the entire experience.
Some people don't know, but it also is your role to also to set up where Team Bermuda is going to be and have in those meetings. And I remember Dar talking about how, where he was placed in 2020, and it was, he mentioned us in the back caves, you didn't really see them. But this year, Team Bermuda probably had one of the best viewpoints. I mean, can you talk about how you had to kind of fight for those things for our team?
Yeah, so luckily I wasn't alone. We hopped on board with Pan Am Sport, a Pan Am Sport initiative, which was called the Joint Allotment. And basically it has come about from small countries getting, the short end of the stick so many times. You get a big Team USA that comes in and they plant themselves right next to the dining hall in the transport mall, and big Team China, which is we want away from that on an island by ourselves. Bermuda and small countries don't have that level of bargaining power. We don't have 400 athletes. So us banding together, so it was us, it was St. Lucia, it was Grenada, Dominica, all of these smaller countries were able to, Bahamas, Belize, all of those, we were able to band together under the banner of Pan Am Sport. They arranged for us to have a fully kitted physio and therapy sort of space, which we don't normally have. They normally just give us a massage bed and we find a balcony to put it on. And that type of bargaining power, when you have that many athletes collectively, ended us up just with an incredible view of the Seine and an incredible view of the Olympic rings. So it was really a good initiative.
Yes, lovely. And so as the first Olympians to take the role as chef de mission, you definitely learned from your own experience, when you were obviously Olympian back in 2004. So you kind of knew as well what these Olympians would be needing or wanting during their experience too, something that you probably didn't have that you want to bring forth. So the opening ceremony outfits, can you talk a little bit about why it was important for you to have a hand in that?
Yeah, so I think I sent pictures to you, Maya, of us in 2004. And I think traditionally, obviously I'm all about girl power. So traditionally the men in the Olympic ceremony are very well regarded. They're dashing in their Bermuda shorts and long socks and blazers, and they look fantastic. And the girls are normally just the girl version of that. where we either wear Bermuda shorts and a blazer or some sort of, I don't know, semblance of a flight attendant outfit, whatever suit we can find. So I kind of took it upon myself to go out to our incredibly talented Bermudian creative community. And I charged them with helping the women to look just as impressive as the men. And they did that. So Channing Dill and Courtney Clay outfitted all of the women for Team Bermuda. And it was just such an honor and a pleasure to be talked about just as much as the guys in their hot pink shorts. So it was great and a good opportunity for the Bermuda Olympic Association to work hand in hand with Bermudian creatives and Bermudian businesses.
Nice. So, the Olympics is very serious, but were there any fun or unexpected memories or moments that you want to share with us that we probably don't know?
For me, it was not fun at all, Maya. I was stressed out, but but no. Listen, there was a 3-star Michelin chef every single day in the village, and I like a little bougie bite, so we had bougie bites of the day. I'm not rich, but I play a rich person on social media sometimes, so the bougie bites were great. And the the Athlete 365 tent was fantastic, where we got to talk about athlete empowerment, careers after sports. That was really great. Lots of games and screens to watch sports. And I love the whole village. There were a lot of fun parts for me.
I cannot hear Jamal.
I can't hear Jamal.
I'm sorry. My fingers hitting buttons. Sorry. But audience, if you have any questions or comments for Katura, please send them through. But Charles H. Jefferson wanted to go back to earlier. He said, wait, every athlete got a new
every single one, and they're custom, Charles. So they have the Olympic rings on the back, Paris 2024. They were the Z Flip 6, Z6, and it had been released the week before the Olympics. And this particular version is in gold. And only Olympians and Paralympians who are participants in the Paris 2024 edition got them.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Amazing.
I like that. Before you came on, we had a discussion this morning, and the question was, what sports do you believe that Bermuda should invest in, that Bermudians could excel at in the 2028 Olympic Games? We need to hear your perspective on that.
So I think it's too late for investment in the 2028 Olympic Games anyway. So we're talking 2032 in Brisbane. We don't invest 4 years ahead and that's it, right? But for where I think we would excel for the next Olympics, I love the idea of Bermuda having its first big team sport in cricket. I was in Paris, but the sheer dominance that my team inflicted on your team, Jamal, was a thing of beauty. And I really don't know why, even our Colts could beat up on that team. But anyway, I'm thinking cricket seriously would be fantastic. And the great thing about cricket is that this is the Olympics. So the West Indies is going to have to split up. They're going to have to field a team from Jamaica and a team from Barbados and a team from Antigua. So you're not going to have the power of the West Indies collectively going against tiny Bermuda. We've got big Bermuda, who can really, I think, get a spot in the 2028 Olympics. So I know the BCB is already planning for that eventuality. So I love that. Additionally, I would say, so you talked about the access to pools, Jamal, which now we have a National Sports Center, but back in my day, we did not. But the emergence of open water swimming as an event, which Bermudians can do in our vast ocean environment, is something that I think we should start taking very seriously. It's not inhibited by pool fees or some of the things that belonging to a swim club that operates out of a pool might come with. So I think there are several things that I think Bermudians, I mean, we're a wildly talented bunch of people, and a little bit of training, a little bit of investment. I think we'd be great.
All righty. I love that. I love that. Mark Arthur C. Phillips, yeah, so question, Madam Katura, who were some of the famous athletes you got a chance to meet in Paris?
I think this is kind of funny because everybody was famous. You know, everybody was famous. These are the most incredible athletes known to mankind. In the village, though, goodness, I mean, Simone Biles, Maya and I met Andy Murray. I don't know if you want to tell that story. Daly.
Can you share that story publicly? Because
we agreed.
Daly. From diving. I'm just going to move on, but it's Maya's story to tell, definitely. So I would encourage her to do so. We had Giannis, who was the flag bearer for Greece. I mean, some big basketball stars and big tennis stars, but I mean, Brian Wellman is a huge star. And it's pretty funny because people, you know, and Maya will tell you, I was very village popular. It was funny because
was so village popular. Somebody recognized her. I'm sorry. I have to say it. Somebody recognized her because they were competing in diving, and he must have been like my age, maybe even younger than me. And he remembered Katura from when he was in Canada and watched her dive, and literally was like, "You look the same." And like when he came up in his photo, I was like, "That is so like that's 2 decades in it," and like still. It was quite amazing. Some even younger, you know, Black divers came up to her as well, and you know, it was so nice to see you get, you know, the recognition and just the flowers, everything there, because people know how much you've done as an Olympian historically in the diving arena in the world. So it was really big and very nice to actually see people like approach almost every single time because they knew her, you know, and they knew the work that she did and the barrier she broke. So it was quite inspirational.
But yeah, I mean, everybody is sort of, you know, all of us who are Olympians, I think we belong to this fraternity of 10,500 athletes every 4 years. So in the grand scheme of things, it's not that many people. So you do recognize people that you may only see on TV or you've only ever heard their stories in the context of the Olympics. So it's an honor. It's always an honor. And that's the word that I keep coming back to, that being part of that is amazing.
You just made me think of something off topic as well, that if in fact Bermuda were to qualify and get in there for the cricket for the 2028 Olympics, that means that the bulk of Somerset's team will probably be there, and then they wouldn't be able to participate in cot match. So that means that it'll be in pretty much a...
You know that? I just told you our Colts could beat your team handily. So I wouldn't think that we would take the children to the Olympics. So they would be here to beat you guys just fine. But you know what? Let's be honest. Like by that point, the Colts will be, I mean, they'll be adults. They'll be a completely different team than they were this time. But we're willing to take the likes of Del Rey and some of your big guys just to, you know, prop up the Bermuda team. But no, but truthfully, I think we have some excellent cricketers. I really do. And we've watched them throughout their journey. And I think we're going to be just fine qualifying for the Olympics. And to be fair, I feel that way about any athlete who is going to qualify for LA 2028. I fully expected 10 athletes to qualify for Paris. We got 8, which is an incredible amount. But we had a long list, as Maya said, of many athletes who were trying to qualify and may have fallen just short, but they'll be there in LA.
Okay. Karen Simmons asking, will you be holding the same role for the Paralympics as well?
No, so the Paralympics are a completely different event. Laurie Lewis is the chef de mission, and Lynn Droth is the president of the Paralympic Association. You will hear the acronyms IOC, BOA, that is the International Olympic Committee and the Bermuda Olympic Association. They are distinct events. The International Paralympic Committee, so the IPC, oversees the Paralympic Games, and the Bermuda Paralympic Association oversees the Bermuda delegation for the Paralympic Games. So they are distinct entities and they are distinct games. So I do not have the pleasure of chefing Jessica Lewis and Yushay Andrade, but I mean, I'm expecting medals.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we're going to celebrate them just as big. That's what's up.
Huge.
But Katura, I mean, what can we, I always include us, right? We're a community, an island, a proud island of people, but what can we, Bermuda and Bermudians, do better to support our athletes between now and the next games?
You know what? These types of dialogues and positive thoughts, I think they go a long way. It's not just financial, as you said, Jamel. Parents, we cannot understate the importance of parental role in athletic and academic success. And these two things go hand in hand. You mentioned the fact that Julian Alfred is a Longhorn. The University of Texas had more medalists at the Olympic Games this year than any other NCAA institution. So you send your kids to great schools, even if you have to pay tuition, even if you gotta work harder to get them there, if they gotta get scholarships, and that's what has to happen. And you support your kids through their dreams. I have a very strong relationship with my mother now, but we were not friends. We were never, ever friends. She parented an elite athlete who had Olympic dreams, and I didn't want to go to that pool every day. She dragged me. I was dragged. So, at the end of the day, there is sacrifice from community members. There is, our spiritual leaders and all of the our sports psych people, everybody who can assist an athlete on a sports journey is instrumental in their athletic success.
I love it. I love that. I think you even started off by saying dialogue like this, and props to Maya, because Maya literally, no matter how sad a news day we may have, I think it's the sports that brings smiles to the faces when she does that. And I think she's done an incredible job of making sure that sports gets recognition in Bermuda, even when it's nothing going on in terms of like, it doesn't have to be international, it doesn't have to be Olympics. I've got to give her credit while she's here. We tend not to give flowers to people, but I like that. And I even like the fact that the Olympic Association was on this show monthly leading up. We had different people from there to engage.
Thank you for that.
It's needed. It's needed because, again, we don't know what we don't know, Katura, right? And I've learned through these conversations what all that goes into it. I remember when Maya was preparing to apply to be the social media person. I mean, I hope she don't mind me telling you, but Maya did she was applying to be the president of the United. Well, no. Trump.
Yes, not that one, not that particular presidency, but yes.
The work that goes into it, and I hope that people appreciate and understand all that you all do. I mean, I think today you kind of gave us a bit of what went into the role that you had, but I still don't think people will truly understand. And I just want to say one thing, and I may be talking out of turn. I don't know if you can answer this, but something tells me both of you did both of these roles without being paid.
Yeah, they were volunteer roles, but we all knew that. But yeah, so we don't take athlete money. That's not a thing, There are grants.
No, Katura, because again, people thought, they're getting paid to be able.
No,
I don't think they are. This is volunteer. And I think it's important for people to know that because of the important roles that you're playing in connecting and keeping people engaged and helping the athletes and growing sport in Bermuda. But that's an important thing.
Jamal, totally. So the perks are being able to represent Bermuda at this level in this capacity, right? And while you're giving Maya her flowers, we have never, ever had the coverage of athletes on the ground that we had this time. And I can think of nobody more prepared, more talented, harder working than Maya in that particular capacity. And no, she was.
I think we lost you. Katura?
I think you did for a minute. It'll come back in a second. Good, because I was about to get too emotional anyway.
Sorry, I blanked out. That's what happened. But no, I mean, there was a grant for her travel, and that was that. You know, other than that, my girl gave her time, her energy. It was incredible. So, and yeah, all of us did. So, you know, we think of our physios. We had physios on the ground. They left their practice. One of them left her practice in London. The other one left their practice in Australia and came to support Bermudian athletes. We did not pay them, and they slept on cardboard beds just like the rest of us. But all for Bermuda. And I mean, we love this place, and we bleed for this place. So, you know, the fact that you have Bermudians who only see positivity in helping athletes, I love that for us.
Yeah. And I think, and again, Teray just saying, she said, well, I had no idea. Thank you both. I didn't want to bring that up, but I didn't know for fact, but I just figured I think the audience should know this, that you guys, your love for what you do and for the country is what really drove you. But I just want to go through some comments before we let you go. Charles H. Jeffers II, he says, the Longhorn fact was a fun fact that Katura casually dropped in there. No, that's brilliant. Yeah, that's brilliant. Siva Pankta said, being a sports mom is not easy. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, we love Mama Horton.
You're not going to be popular. You're not going to be popular with your kids.
If only they could get an argument the night before Cup match next year. That was the second. He says, has Brian Wellman been on TDH? If not, he should be. We've had conversations on him with BCG shows, but I don't think I'll have to ask Larry if he's actually been on the show before. I know we've had him on one of BCG programs. Derek Hendrickson has a question. How do we get these roles paid?
So I think that's difficult because, I mean, all of our sponsorship goes towards athletes, and it probably should. You know, I mean, they are the stars. They are the ones who need all of it. If we had an excess, perhaps, but grants especially are specifically geared to situations and to people. So I'm not sure that that's something that, I mean, staff, if there's staffing at the organizational level, I know that Canada has some paid staff that is on the ground, but with respect to chefing and those types of support capacities like that, I'm not sure that there's a mechanism to do that. And I'd just like to quickly do a shout out to my place of business, the Bermuda Hospitals Board, which did without me for a month. And yeah, they came, my assistant was amazing. And I mean, same with everybody who had to leave their job. So yeah, I'm not sure, Derek, how that works, but I don't think that there's an organizational mechanism to get these types of roles paid.
Well, at least you were impressed with your assistant. Maya wasn't impressed with me, so she didn't give me a shout out.
I was grateful. I definitely gave you a shout when I came back on the show. Don't even start.
He tried, Maya. He can't be you, but he tried.
Charles said, that's incredible that you lot were not paid. Much appreciated for your sacrifice. No, it's appreciated. And Katura, before you head out, what would you say to someone? I mean, you know, again, you've got young people in college right now heading off that may have aspirations to maybe make the 2028 LA or 32 Brisbane. What would you say in terms of the sacrifice and work to get there?
I think I say this every time, Jamal, that, you know, I mean, it's not a 4-year journey. It's a 20-year journey, you know, and it's consistent, and you're not going to love every day of doing your sport, just as you don't love every day of going to school. But being a student athlete, especially, student comes first, athlete second. And if you can use your education to pay for your sporting career or to catapult you into sporting excellence through their offering in the sporting realm. I mean, a lot of these Division I NCAA schools, not just Texas, a lot of them have incredible programming that will help Bermudian athletes to get from point A to point Olympics. So I think it's really important that young people stay the course, that their parents stay the course, and that we as Bermudians continue to support them through rough patches. Because the second we start reporting negatively about athletes or not giving them the flowers that they deserve, they leave sport, and we don't want that. So keeping young people involved in sport is a community effort.
One last question to both of you, putting you both on the spot. Would you both do the roles that you just completed again?
Maya.
Go ahead, Chef.
I'm delegating. Maya.
Well, for the first time she's delegated, folks. No. Yeah, I would do it again. I would definitely do it again. I think, like I keep saying to Katura and everyone, like, it was a beautiful challenge. And now I know so much more of what I want to do before, like, we get out there this time, or things I want to put in place. I mean, we'll have to do reports as well. And so I know that there's so much more that I know we can do, and I can do personally in the role that I filled. And again, it was the first time ever they had a role that I was doing for the game. So it was it was a beautiful challenge. I would do it again with the right team.
There we go. That's the key point. I think for me, and I said this before, this was the most stressful experience of my life. I need to come down off of it. But I've chefed before, and I absolutely would chef again. But it was a very steep learning curve for the Olympics. And I would need some things to be put in place in order to make this just a more comprehensive experience for everybody. But I absolutely would represent Bermuda in any capacity that I'm able. So yeah, this is not a last chance for me.
Before you head out, I promise.
You keep saying this, Jamal.
No, I know, I'm a liar like that. Charles, a second, he says, you lot didn't talk pin trading fun. So now I would like Maya to share the Andy Murray story with the public.
Yes. Come on, Maya.
All right. So this guy just walked up on his bike. Okay, so
and he comes to me, he stops. Go ahead.
Stops, and it's just like Skeeted stopped, because he was obviously kind of moving on. We have bicycles in the village. Everyone gets bicycles. That's what I'm talking about. That's what bikes. Comes to Skeet, looks at Katura. You guys got pins to trade? And I'm like, no. At this point, at the end of the day, I'm ready. I was tired. Anyway,
I also said no. I said I don't want your pin.
She said it so nicely though, and then and I did not. And then he was like, oh, and then Katura was like, I think I might have some. Yada yada. And she looks at me. She goes, do you know who this is? And I was just like, no, no. And she was like, oh, it's Andy Murray. I was like, no, she didn't say it then. No, she was like, how do you not know who this is? And then they had a little kiki, and then he laughed, and then she was like, that was Andy Murray. And I was like, what?
Wimbledon winner, Scott.
I mean, and just like,
but I'm used to seeing him on TV with the long hair. His hair he had a whole buzz cut. That's all I'm just gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
I told Andy Murray I didn't need his funky Team GB pin, but I did have a beautiful Bermuda one that he could have, and he was very thankful. And I extended, Maya. I'm like, hey Maya, do you this is like, do you know who this is? And she was like, no. So I'm like, okay, we'll just let him go on about his way. And then afterwards, she was like, oh my gosh. We had a similar walk by from Tom Daly, and she was just like, that was Tom Daly? It was. But that is cool about the Olympic Village, that the pin trading for Charles is a really kind of a way for us to meet people from different places, and it is currency. And a Bermuda pin is very valuable. Any of these from like small countries where you only have 8 athletes, 4 athletes, 2 athletes, there aren't a bunch of athletes to trade pins. So we were very popular in the village. Oh, do you have a pin, Maya?
I was going to ask.
Yeah, I have a Bermuda one.
Oh,
Out of plastic.
and they were beautiful because, everybody wanted them.
Oh, that's beautiful. Where can we purchase those?
No,
I don't know.
they're priceless.
Well, they might be on eBay for like $200.
$200 on eBay. We saw them. We're like, oh, that looks like mortgage.
That's cool though. And you know what? Honestly, I'm glad that you guys got to experience that and you've shared the experience. My hope is that we can get more Bermudians out to support the Olympics. I know it's hard to get into these spaces, but I know we had some of our audience traveling Trotty and Chica Trot, who was out in Paris during the games. And, I like it. The World Cup being in the US in 2026 and then the Olympics in LA in 2028. I mean, if you have the funds, they're very close to home. I know LA is over the other coast, but country-wise, it's very close. We don't need visas to travel to the US. If you can, let's get out and experience these things. I mean, the experience itself could do so much for young people if you're able to get them there. So sports clubs, get out there, do some tag days and get your young folks out there. I'm sorry, I had to.
Tag days?
I had to. Katura, thank you so much. We'll talk soon. Hopefully you can wake up early and do this again for us sometime.
Thanks,
She
Jamal.
can. She can do it.
Have a great one. Give Mama Horton a hug for us. Talk soon.
Will do.
Alrighty, Katura Horton-Perinchief, folks. If you appreciated the conversation, give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Make sure you share it with your friends, your family, your colleagues. Love her energy. We're going to take our final break. We will be back in about 2 minutes, 21 seconds for the daily play. We're going to wrap it up and we'll give you a daily inspiration. Stick with us. Great news. Our Beat the Heat special has been extended through August 31st while supplies last. Keep cool with our further discounted Carrier high-efficiency mini-split units, plus enjoy 10% off Comfort Zone oscillating fans, Comfort Air units 8,000, 10,000, 12,000, and Hunter ceiling fans when you pay with cash. Don't miss out on these hot deals to stay cool.
Did you know 3 out of 4 people say that they have a good understanding of life insurance? But do they really? When asked how much the yearly cost would be for a 20-year, $250,000 level term life insurance policy for a healthy 30-year-old, 80% overestimated the cost by 5 times the amount. Ready for this? The true cost for that policy is about $220 a year. That's as little as 66 cents a day, or $20 a month. So let's put this into perspective. Compared to other monthly costs, isn't getting life insurance a no-brainer? If you can trim back on some of these expenses just a little bit, it will allow you to dedicate the savings toward an affordable life insurance policy. Contact one of our life insurance agents today to find the right policy for you.
Take a look at our workwear for construction workers and tradesmen. Durable, stretchable in all the right places and plenty of options for tools and accessories. Pair with our wide range of tough and comfortable footwear, you can't go wrong. As you can see, Medical House really is a one-stop shop for everybody. We can't wait to see you.
See it all at our new expanded location on Bakery Lane.
The Mailboxes team aren't just employees of Bermuda's Best Shipping Company. They're also your neighbors, and neighbors help each other.
Where my childhood was found.
All righty, welcome back to the big show. Thanks again to Katura Horton-Perinchief for joining us this morning. Again, folks, if you appreciated the conversation, please give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Thanks also to the BAC group of companies, Medicals, Lindos, and People's Pharmacy for ensuring we can do this with you on a daily basis. It is time for the Daily Play, brought to you by Bermuda Trivia, now available at stores throughout Bermuda. Follow Bermuda Trivia on Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok to find out why it's Bermuda's favorite trivia game. All right, Maya, it's actually geography. I picked out one just now.
Well, I'm going to get it wrong.
This might be very easy for you, honestly. All right, here's the question, audience. You know what happens if you guess before Maya, you go in the draw. What is the largest city in South America by population?
Largest city in South America by population. don't even want to take a guess. I feel like nah, I'm not even gonna guess.
No,
I can't think of anything. I don't want to guess it. No, I don't want to be wrong.
Mark Arthur C. Phillips got it. Sao Paulo. He got
Yeah, I
it
wouldn't
first.
have
NTS got it. So let's write Mark Arthur. And while we're doing that, actually everybody got it. Sao Paulo. But we're gonna do the hashtag giveaway. So hashtag the Daily Hour to go into today's draw. Let me just write down Mark. Arthur C. Phillips. So Mark will go in the draw. And while everyone's putting the hashtag, Maya and I are going to give our final thoughts on today's conversation. Maya, final thoughts on, obviously, Katura agrees with cricket as well, but what we can, what we should focus on investing in for future Olympians. And I like, Larry said it as well. You can't, what Katura kept saying is it's not about preparing them for the next 4 years. It's like the next 20. Like you don't get ready for something at an elite level in that short amount of time. But what are your final thoughts on that?
Yeah, agreed. It is a lifelong journey to become an Olympian. What I got to see out there and the performance level, the mindset, the mentality of these Olympians is just, I got to see it in Katura, but seeing it on such a mass scale of how hard these are working, getting to meet the full team Bermuda and listening to their own journeys of when they even started like jumping in that swimming pool or on the pitch. Like it's an incredible process, and it's something that does need funding and does need assistance in whatever capacity the community can give it. I think also you might need to showcase the value of being an Olympian in Bermuda and what that means. There were years back when like Bermuda had a team of 20 Olympians, even more, like going to the Olympics as well. And yes, things have changed. The scale of where you have to get to now, it's much greater. But at the same time, we don't even know just how many, Olympians we have right now in Bermuda. And Katura didn't mention it, but the rings that they're about to also get now as well, just for like being a part of that legacy of being an Olympian, a Bermuda Olympian. But yeah, more funding, more support, more knowledge of what it even means to get there and how special and specific it is for us so small to have even more Olympians this year than other countries 5 times the size of Bermuda couldn't even qualify as many as 8 that we had. Like it's a huge, huge achievement. And yeah, we need more funding for it. Indeed.
No, I echo everything you said. I would love to see us get back up to those numbers. And, even though we're very small, there are many Bermudians in different universities and across the U.S. There are many Bermudians excelling outside of Bermuda. What I should have asked, and what I guess we can reach out to the BOA, what disqualifies someone for not being able to participate? Because I know in boxing, you lose your eligibility in some respect. I don't know what it is, but
when you go professional.
When you go professional, is that it?
Yeah.
Because I feel like that seems biased though, because you've got professional basketball players that are playing, right? So like what sports require, full amateur athletes versus professional athletes? I'd like to know the rules on that, because I think we had quite a few young people coming through as boxers recently that could have probably made a difference. And, understanding and knowing that first Olympic medal in the 70s via Clarence Hill was from boxing. I thought that the investment there could have been made, but again, the rules may be different in that respect. But I appreciate the work that yourself, Katura, and the athletes done. They've done well. I think, Janai Perinchief, I remember people going off on social media about a story about him. And, I think he was 28th of 32. And I said, we can't look at it he came 28th out of 32. We got to look at it, he came 28th out of 8+ billion people in the world. That's also,
yeah, moved up in his ranking as well still. And his first jump, man, it was a great jump. And it could have qualified, just, the rules. Yeah. Was just over just a bit, but like, yeah, it's the day, you get one day.
Yeah, indeed. And got to put things in perspective for people. You really do. I mean, that ranking is huge, going forward. So again, I'm looking forward to supporting them at events throughout the years. And thank you for keeping us abreast, because you've done that. Let us know what the swimmers are doing, what Janai's doing, what people are doing. And I appreciate Katura saying that, like, dialogue like this definitely keeps it front and center. So let's do the hashtag giveaway and see who's going to be the Lazaki winner. All right, let's do that drum roll and see who's not winner, but who's going to be eligible. Last name to get entered into today's draw. that's what we're doing. Oh man, I think Karen's already in there. Karen said that, and I'm gonna keep repeating this every time she comes up, that she never used to win anything until this show. And I'm just saying, folks, this show, if you're consistent, you can be a winner. I'm just saying you can be a winner. All right. So let's do this. I'm gonna shake up the cup. Shake up the little cup. Who we got in here? We've got Mark Arthur C. Phillips, Sheikah, and Karen twice. All right, let's see. Who's it gonna be? Karen's got the advantage. Karen won it. So the person who's had their name in twice has won it. Karen, you know what to do. Send us an email, engage@thedailyhour.com. Folks, if you've won something and you haven't received your prize, please reach out to me personally, Jamel at BermudaCommunications.com. I'll make sure that we get people in the back on that. Maya, do you have any daily inspiration for us?
Daily inspiration. I think there was a really good one that was said the other day with Serena Williams by Terrain. I really liked that one a lot. But I guess I'll just go off of what Katura said when it comes to like parents being that of sports athletes. Like, it is a lot of hard work, but you know what? It's worth it. It's worth it.
Yeah, indeed. It is worth it, folks. Please don't forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Thanks again to our partners, the BAC Group of Companies, Mediquals, Lindos, and People's Pharmacy, for ensuring that we're able to do this with you on a daily basis. As always, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you on Monday. She's Maya Palacio. I'm Jamel Hartman. Please do make it a safe and a great day. We are out. Peace.